So I tell you what, 4 matches in, and I don't think anybody can be sad about what we've seen. A lot of great action. 125 was all about the freshman, Osmani Diversant, Adrian Meza. 133 was all about the experience, Evan Frost and Kyson Karakina. We have no matches today at 141. We have no matches at 157. Big log jams. We'll just have to see how that all sorts out as we go forward. We're going to move right into 157 pounds today. I'll circle back to the 141 and 149 status here at Iowa State here in just a minute. But at 157 pounds, Tucker Stangel, freshman, versus Christian Stanek, a sophomore. So Stangel, a freshman from Osage. He was two-time state champ and a 4-time place winner. He was the 2024 Dan Gable Class 2A Mr. Wrestler of the Year after a 54-0 senior season, so comes in highly qualified. Stanek is a sophomore from Cedar Rapids Xavier. He had an 11-6 record last year in 2023. And, of course, he was a redshirt back in 2022-23 and had an 11-6 record then. So a couple of years under his belt at 157. Got a real good chance to wrestle with a lot of good wrestlers at 157. And, of course, obviously, that 165-pound class was quite good for Iowa State as well. So. So it's just been announced that the coaches are going to utilize that discretion. Let me get back to that in just a second. Yeah, I got the whizzer in, so I'm going to have to. I think we're going to wind up seeing this one get stalemated. Limp arm, fights it off. Still nothing. Back on their feet. Ooh, nice reshot. But to no avail off the mat. So it was just announced moments ago that the coaches have elected to go the 2 out of 3 route with Adrian Mesa and Garrett Grice. So you'll see another match, or potentially 2, with them after the heavyweight match. So we get bonus matches today. So a little bit of so Stanek's just a solid 157-pounder. Stangel's a little more lanky. Just not quite as thick, maybe just a little taller. So you got a little contrast in style there. But I don't know that we've seen enough scramble yet to really count for anything. Okay, so Stanek takes down. And there's an escape. So makes that 3-2 right now in favor of Stangel. And riding time not really a factor at all. There's only about 6 seconds of riding time. So we got a little behind on the riding time clock, and the ref had to get it caught up to the right number, but that's okay. This is the first shot for all of us this season. So. Okay, and back to center. So as I was saying a few minutes ago, we did not see anyone today at 141. That's because Jacob Frost and Sam Grabowski were in the brackets, but both got byes today. And there's a number of wrestlers that are being held out of competition for one reason or another, mostly because they're probably a little dinged up or whatever at this point. But Dresser says they'll all get their shot too. Most notably, 141 pound Zach Redding. Redding, a senior who we've seen in the starting lineup, been to the NCAA tournament a couple of times, and then just really valuable. Filled a lot of spots last year when different wrestlers were out with slight injuries. So 141, we'll see Frost, Grabowski, and Redding all on November 2nd. 149, not wrestling today because of byes. Listed in the bracket, Anthony Echemendia, of course, the All-American from last year, and Carter Fusick, sophomore. And then held out at this point, Casey Swiderski, Panero Johnson. Swiderski, an All-American as well last year. At 49, Panero Johnson, the starter 2 years ago, a sophomore. Johnson, of course, did not wrestle last year because of the whole gambling issue, whatever. Wound up taking a redshirt year last year. So two really talented wrestlers there that'll also fit into that fray somewhere. Of course, Johnson was supposed to go to the U23 World Championships and represent the USA at 70 kilos, but a little dinged up. Nothing horrible, Coach Dresser said, but just a little dinged up enough that he wouldn't be at his prime, and so he elected to forego the U23 World Championships, which will happen in about a little over a week. And so he's healing right now. Swiderski, kind of the same thing a little bit. So we'll see those guys a little later in the season. The other thing that is still in play is Swiderski at 149 has a redshirt year to give. And so while there's a kind of a mess at 49 now, you got Echemendia, the 141-pounder from 41 last year, Swiderski, the All-American at 149, Panero Johnson, the U.S. representative to the U20 on the U23 World Team. So you got a lot of talent there, and we'll have to see how that all shakes out. But Swiderski does have a redshirt year to give. Echemendia was at 41 last year. I know he told me personally back at the NCAA tournament that he was not going to 141 again. But when I saw him a couple of weeks ago, you just never say never. So we'll just have to see how the outcome of that comes. But I can tell you what, if we get to see Echemendia and Swiderski and Panero Johnson all wrestle on November 2nd, that'll be worth the price of admission if they charge the price on admission. All right, so the takedown now, the match 7-2 as time clicks down in that third period. And Tucker Stangel, the freshman from Osage, is going to win this one. All right, 7-2 victory. Very nice.